Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as are the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Ekalio, and this video is about the times that we're in, man. The end of Esau's kingdom, the mark of the beast prophecy, which is a microchip Bible prophecy, is at hand. And here it is, this video from the elder apostle Gabar, actor slash motivational speaker Noel Guglielmi spills the tea on the RFID microchip and its purpose. And you see, the situation at hand right now is that this mark of the beast prophecy, which is that microchip, is becoming a dominant topic in the world. All right, it's not only the prophets of Yahweh Shemishai that is, delivering the word of the Lord, right? The Lord is also putting the spirit on other individuals, around the world to bring up the topic of the mark of the beast, all right? And this microchip, all right? So all of this is happening for a reason, man. And to me, it's very telling of the times that we're in, right? This prophecy is well on its way. And, you have people out there, whether they believe that they're an Israelite or not, that they have heard about the mark of the beast and it being the microchip, but because they're in the world and, they don't care about Yahweh Shemishai talking to our people, they hear it and they really and actually do not believe it. And they go about their days and they continue to live their life and live in their delusions, and drink off of that and eat off of that polluted table with all of those false gods and false idols that they worship. All right. But the Spirit of the Lord has been bringing up this topic, man, continuously in these last days, from individuals having dreams and visions about the microchip, right? Which the scriptures say, let me see, I think it might be actually Joel I'm looking for. Or the book of Acts. All right, so it says in Acts chapter 2 and verse 17, "And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith Yahweh Shemishai, I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams." All right. "And on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy." Okay, so many people have been receiving these dreams, man. I'm not just talking Israelites too. Heathen get visions and dreams as well. Nebuchadnezzar received the vision, right, that the prophet Daniel interpreted. Okay, so this spirit is in the world, and attention and focus on the mark of the beast prophecy. And you have people paying attention to it, whether it is, that they believe or not, or, whatever they believe in. Because, you have the Christians, those that follow Christianity. There are, to my knowledge, from what I've heard, there are certain churches that teach that the mark of the beast is a microchip. All right, so it's out there, man. All right, let's see. In the book of Joel chapter 2 as well, And verse 28, and it shall come to pass that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions, right? And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, right? And the Lord said, in the last days, all right, the last days of what? The last days of the rulership of the so-called white man. And as the scriptures say, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Esau is the progenitor of the Edomites, or these so-called white people. This is their kingdom, right? And their wicked elite, the elite bankers, are the ones that, Yahweh Shemisha is using to be the vessels to push about this microchip, this mark of the beast. All right, so it's a hot topic. And let me get back. Yeah, Salakia. It's a hot topic in the world, man. All right, and as we approach closer and closer to the manifestation of the prophecy, it is going to become more and more prominently spoken about, in the world, right? These are the times that we're in, man, right? And the scriptures say in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So the vision are these prophecies, man. And it says that they're set for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. So at the end, right? And now we are at the end, right? In the last days, right? As I just read. Then also the scriptures say, in the last days perilous time shall come. All right? These are the days that we're in, man. Okay, so it's speaking. Not only is the mark of the beast prophecy speaking in the way that, the microchip is here, the systems are being implemented, right? Everything is transforming around us to accommodate that microchip, because it's going to become mandatory worldwide. But there's also just the spirit in the world of people talking about it, attention being brought to it. This is going to be the thing, man. All right? This is the major prophecy that is coming up. Okay? So let's take a listen to what the Elder Apostle Gabar is saying regarding this topic and this individual.
The information dealing with the chip and how it's part of the New World Order. So without further ado, let's check out what he got to say.
It's the one world currency, and you get the chip inside of you, like Mark of the Beast. And what's going to happen is when they that's headed towards that. Right. So the chip, it's to condition your mind. So it'd be like, oh, we've always been tapping. We've always been using cryptocurrency. We've always been, doing it this way. So when you get the chip, you ain't going to think nothing of it, because you won't be like, nah, they've always been doing it similar to this, right? So the chip, when they put it inside of you, is going to be activated as your credit card.
Yeah, that method there is the gradualism that Esau uses. So what he's speaking about is, the way life is, and the way life has been moving towards it is getting people accustomed to the lifestyle where, the microchip is mandatory. Okay, for example, the whole consolidation of, all of your information into one place via even the phone, right? The phone is a place that stores all of your information in one place. Many people, I've heard it before, people say that their phone is their life. Many people, can't, walk around without their phone attached to their hand. They have everything stored on it, and now even they're attaching the digital ID to it as well. The phone is also used for payment. So it is a form of gradually getting people used to, going to one place, to access everything. You see what I'm saying? So there really is a certain level of subtlety that Esau is applying with this situation. And also, if y'all remember during the pandemic, the 2020 pandemic, okay, out here in Jamaica, I don't know how it was in other parts in the world, but out here in Jamaica, when it is that you went to anywhere to go into any building or anything, y'all remember the thing where they were scanning you? They wanted to check your temperature, right? But what I noticed when going through, living through that era, that when you go there, they would scan your hand and they'd scan your forehead. You see what I'm saying? Now some people are going to be like, oh, well, that's how you check the temperature. Nah, look a little deeper than that. All right? They scan your forehead and they scan your hand. And I remember going through it, living through it, and encountering it so many times, and then thinking to myself, this is how people are going to operate with a microchip. They're going to scan your head, right? In the forehead, in the hands of the foreheads, as the prophet says, Revelation 13, verse 16, right? And they scan the hand. So it was like getting people used to these kinds of things, okay?
So long story short, now you could just, if they put it in your forehead or your wrist, now you could just slide your arm or slide your head, whatever they decide to put it in. And they're going to say, oh, there's all these good things about it. And this is where they manipulate / trick you / deceive you. They're going to say, you know why the chip is good? Because now no one can come up to you and just rob you and take your cash. You know why the chip is good? Because if you get kidnapped, I can find you and locate you with the chip. They're going to tell you all these great things. But here's the part that they don't tell you. If you do not comply with the government and you do not do what the government says, all they got to do is simply turn that chip off. And now your credit card don't work, and now you can't even go to Carl's Jr. and get a cheeseburger. Now you can't even go get tacos or eat. And now, in order for that chip to be turned back on / activated, you got to be under control and the mercy of the government and what they tell you to do to be able to even shop for food or whatever else is that you want to get. And so all that is leading towards that, man. So I tell people you're soon enough going to be backed up into having to make the decision of accept or don't accept. But when it comes down to it, and people always, and that's how they control you. And people always say, oh, they got you control on your phone. No, they don't. Because I can take this phone, I can throw it in a river. And you no longer got anything on me physically. But once they put that in you physically, now you're under control. Because that's your credit card, that's your
Total control. Remember what when Aaron Russo told Alex Jones about the chip. This was an interview that happened, 1999, 2000, somewhere around there. Alex Jones goes, total control. So that's what the top banking families want. That is the premise behind the chip.
Khan, indeed, it is what Esau sees as his next step in total control and implementing a new slavery system that he sees as more perfect. And he already let us know what it is. He wants everything to be a one world government, a one world this, a one world that. And he also wants to cull the population down to a certain number, 500 million people? Because I guess that's just the number that he sees, he's comfortable with, that he envisions for his slavery system, right? Where everybody's going to be microchipped. This is how they envision it, man. People are going to be microchipped. You're going to have these 15 minutes and these smart cities, cities that are just completely driven by artificial intelligence and technology, right? Where, people are using the microchip to interact with the city every single step that they take. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to be using that microchip to simply just interact with everything as a part of their life. It's going to be such an integrated part of life. This is what they envision. From the second people wake up with the microchip, it's already tracking you, right? It's already inside of you, okay? Then people wake up, they're using the microchip to open up doors in their houses and to open up, their phone, using it to open up their laptop, right? They leave the house, while being in this 15-minute city, they leave the house, they're on the escalators or whatever those things are called, that carry you along, and then they get carried along on it, and then they go and then they use a microchip, and they use the microchip to swipe this, swipe that, swipe this. They go to the doctor, microchip. They go for government services, microchip. They go to any kind of store, microchip. Any single thing that they want to do in the cities, microchip. Interacting with the technology, everything being recorded in the database. Your digital footprint is there more clear than ever before. All right, this is Esau's new slavery system, and the thing about it is that it's gonna come along But it's not going to be how he envisioned it, man. Yahweh Shemishai is going to throw a wrench in his plans, okay, as the scriptures say, in the fullness of his sufficiency. Let me see, Job, I think it's 20. And verse 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All right, so let's first tap into the word wicked here at H6001, which is the Hebrew word aimal, which is talking about the laborer, the sufferer, the workman, right? So this is actually talking about the Israelites, not the actual wicked who are the Edomites or the so-called white people. So in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, right? When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Shemishai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So Esau is going to accomplish their new world order to a certain percentage, right? It's not going to happen fully as they've planned for decades and envisioned it to be, all right? It's going to happen. They're going to bring chaos and hell to the world, right? Revelation chapter 6, verse 8, that pale horse, right? We're going to go through Jacob's trouble. They're going to do anything that they can, to establish their new world order. And at the forefront of it is that microchip. Okay, so it's going to happen, man. The prophecy is going to come to pass and it's going to become mandatory worldwide, that microchip. Okay, but, once that happens, Yahushua is just around the corner. Okay, so this is what he's talking about, man. In the fullness of his sufficiency, when he's about to fill his belly. So he's not going to fill his belly, man. He'll be eating his meal at the table. They got through the appetizer, they got through the soup, they got through the salad, they got through the main course, and when they're about to eat dinner, eat dessert, there comes Yahushai, you know what I'm saying, to ruin their plans. So they're not going to be able to fill their belly, man. They're not going to be able to complete their meal. And you know how that feels, when you're eating your meal and then something happens where, y'all know what it is, it doesn't feel good. So, yeah, man, this is what's going to happen to Esau Edom. All right, his kingdom is going to come falling down, man. Okay, but the spirit of Yahweh Shemishai is showing the world what is on the table. And for those who can receive it, have received it. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see it. As the scriptures say, the elect hath obtained it and the rest were blinded. But given everything that is happening around us regarding the prophecies and how close they are to coming to pass, the scriptures say it, man, in Romans chapter 13 and verse 11, and that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light, right? The armor of light, put on the whole armor of Yahweh Shemishai, which is the word of Yahweh Shemishai, okay? And our salvation is nearer than when we believed, all right? Let us walk honestly, as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy, but put ye on the Lord Yahushua, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Right? So we're very close, man. Okay, and Yahweh Shemishai is communicating with us, man. It's all spiritual, letting us know the times that we're in, letting us know the times that we're approaching. Okay, we don't know exactly when the mark of the beast prophecy is going to be fulfilled. But as a watchman of Yahweh Shemishai, continuously watching, sounding the alarm, it is clearly seen through the spirit, man, that we are very close. Okay? So take heed. And there is indeed going to be a very great deception regarding this mark of the beast prophecy, man. It says in Revelation chapter 19 and verse 20, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, which is talking about the Roman Catholic Church, that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast. So he's going to deceive them, man. And it's true, he's going to deceive the people because he's going to be selling it in all kinds of different types of ways. He's going to be selling it as a hot new thing on the block, like the new iPhone, you know what I'm saying? Or the new Switch 2, you know. He's also going to be selling it as this kind of miraculous thing to be able to help people to overcome certain kinds of disabilities, like the whole paraplegic thing, you know, the brain microchip where they've been selling it, where they say they can make the blind see, they can make the people who can't walk. And they're already making good, you know, on some of these things that they've spoken about, you know, where people are literally brain microchipped right now and people are using however that technology works from their thoughts connected to it, however it works, man, you know, being connected to that brain microchip, that they're able to communicate with external technology, where they're able to play video games with a brain microchip, with a microchip in their brain, they're able to play a video game. You see, you know what I'm saying? They're able to translate their thoughts. They're able to move a mouse. They're able to do certain things. All right. So there's going to be a whole lot of deception going on, man. A whole lot of deception. And what about the part about when it is that there's the famine and the pestilence, which is a part of these prophecies of judgment that are coming, right? He's going to deceive the people. He's going to say, listen, the only way to get by these things, past these things, is that you're going to have to take this microchip in order to enter into the safe zones, the green areas, or else you're going to be out in the chaos and the wilderness of it all. You know what I'm saying? This devil going to be hitting people from every single type of angle, man. All right. So it says, and them that worship the beast, and them that worshipped his image, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. Right. So the wording from Yahweh Shemishai is to not take the microchip, which is the mark of the beast, because America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. And if you take the microchip, you're going to be destroyed. There's no chance for salvation. All right, but the spirit of Yahweh Shemishai is very clearly showing what time it is. I seen the elder apostle Tahar post a video. Let me get it.
What it is, it's in Revelation 13.
To an Irishman.
I'll tell you what it is. It's in Revelation 13, and it talks about in the future. John was given a vision of the future. Not John the disciple, not John the Baptist, John the disciple, yeah? He was given God showed him what was going to happen in the future, right? And he said, no man can buy or sell unless he takes the mark in his right hand or upon the forehead. Now this isn't the mark, but it's laying the foundations for it. They want everything cashless.
And he sees it. You see? He sees it very clearly. He said that this isn't the mark, which the digital ID is not, but the laying the foundation for it, which it is. It's the stepping stone. It is the stepping stone, because the digital ID is consolidating all of your biometrics, every single thing about your life, all right, into one place, and that's what the microchip does as well. So it's a stepping stone heading towards it. And I don't know, he looks like an Edomite, he looks like a so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? But he could be an Israelite. I don't know. You know? But whether he is or not, he can see it. Okay? And this is a spirit that is becoming more prominent in the world. Okay? So y'all know what time it is, man. We're getting closer to that time.
You want everything digital, everything you do, everything you buy, everything. It's got to go through them. If you're not complying, then basically you're against the system.
So yeah, you know, these are just two different isolated situations that I've, you know, pointed out. But from my observations, you know, I'm seeing it more and more people speaking about it. The spirit is just in the air. All right. So anyway, with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh, Shalom.